Right, greetings class, greetings viewers. Today we are going to work on agriculture. So this is going to be a summary of this topic called agriculture. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer all the questions as long as agriculture. So number one thing that you must master on agriculture is types. That is number one. Types of agriculture. Unofana kuziva anonzima types of agriculture. For those who are following us online, make sure you are writing these notes as I am going to explain, because I'm not going to write everything here. So number one thing to master agriculture is to know the types of what? Of agriculture. We have different types of agriculture, of course. We have A and B. And A is subsistence farming. Subsistence farming. Normal types of agriculture at now. We have subsistence farming. Then tozopoma examples. A subsistence. Kuti pa subsistence panowanika ma types akaita sechakati nechakati. And then another type is called commercial farming or commercial agriculture. Commercial farming or commercial agriculture. Commercial farming or commercial agriculture. So agriculture by definition, growing of crops, growing of what? Of crops, right? Rearing of animals. Second, no, the agriculture. When we are talking about agriculture, we are focusing more on growing of crops, and we are also focusing more on rearing of sheep, of animals. But number types, subsistence farming, commercial farming. What is subsistence? Subsistence farming.
Growing of crops for own consumption.
For own consumption. So for subsistence farming, my farmers are growing of crops. Not only that, they are also doing rearing of sheep, of animals, but they are doing this one for family consumption. Growing of crops or rearing of animals, but he or she is doing that for family what? Consumption. That is subsistence what? Farming. So on this one, we have examples like what? What are the examples of subsistence farming? Where my farmers, they are growing crops and they are rearing animals for family consumption. Feed a family. My examples are talking. It's number one, shifting sheep, cultivation. Shifting cultivation. Guys, as I said, in time you are about but you will tell this video. Make sure you are writing each and every word. It's going to be very, very important. So number one example of subsistence farming, we have shifting cultivation. What is this one? What is shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation, we are talking about system of agriculture whereby a farmer grows a piece of land here. Then after 3 to 5 years of doing agriculture on this piece of land, farmer araba this piece of land oenda pane another piece of sheep, another piece of land. Orima futi for 3 to 5 sheep to 5 years. Ava apa, akuinda futi pane chi, pane imwe another piece of what? another piece of land. Osvika worima futi 3 to what? To 5 years. This one. Right. So the shifting cultivation is actually a type of subsistence farming where my farmers they move from one field to what? To another. My farmers they move from one field to another. Vakarimapo, vorimapo. No, shifting what? Cultivation. Shifting cultivation is that Urutoza specifically they are not doing this type of farming for sale. They are doing it for family consumption. Right. What is the reason you are going to see that this piece of land? We end up at this piece of land after 3 to 5 years. We end up at this piece of land. What is the reason? You want to assume after a short period of time, after 3 to 5 years of cultivating one piece of land, ivhure papa rinenge rava iri fertile kureva kuti rinenge risisina chikafu. Anditika saka vari kubva pa this piece of land voenda pane imwe kuitire kupawo this piece of land an opportunity to regain its what? Its fertility. Zvinobatika nditi kuti ite regain its fertility. You can actually call that regain its energy. Because energy is so no fertility. Hope you guys are following. Hope you are following. My farmers are about this piece of land. When a name and very kuzviitire vari kuitira kuti land ikwanise kuita regain its what? Its fertility. And in most cases, vanoti vabva this piece of land vanozodzoka after 30 to 35 years. After 30 to 35 years. Like I said, this piece of land vanozodzoka after 30 to what? To 35 years. Right, another type of subsistence farming where farmers they grow crops, rear animals for family consumption. Another type we have what we call sedentary farming, or this one can be called sedentary settled what? Farming. Sedentary farming. Sedentary farming. Right, what is sedentary farming? When you are talking about sedentary farming, sedentary it means settled in this case. It means what? Settled. So we are talking about a settled farming. We are talking about what? A settled farming. So apana is shifting, which means moving. Moving from one place to another. That is moving from one field to another. But this one, it is called sedentary because the same piece of land. Shifting cultivation, they also change my settlements. They change my fields. But only settled sedentary farming. Change my settlements. Change my fields. Let me just say, this is your house. Then you have a field here. You have another field here. You have another field here. Another field here. What you are going to change on sedentary farming is not your home. Is not your dwelling place. You are going to change my fields. Ukamborima pana. Wova. Worima pana. Wova. Worima pana. Wova. Worima pana. But unengori panzvimbo ipi imwe chete. But with shifting cultivation, you are changing fields and what? Settlements. Saka ukarima pana paundobva nemhuri yako utonovaka wautoendawo. But pa-settled sedentary farming, unongochinja mafoods uri pa-same settlement. Ndizvo? Same what? Settlement. That is sedentary farming. So how does this one, shifting cultivation and sedentary farming, differ? They differ in the same that by shifting cultivation, farmers they change both the fields and what? Settlement. But on sedentary farming, farmers they change fields only. They don't change what? Settlement. Are you still following? Alright. Hope it's clear because after this one, unofana kunge wakukwanisa kuita sei? Kuanza question semunhu akaita topic in what? In detail. Right, tiri pa same topic inonzi subsistence farming. Kune imwe inonyorwa so inonzi communal farming. Mambonoza. Yakanzi communal farming kana kuti farming in communities. Those are true what inonzi communal farming. We are talking about farming in what? In communities. Ndo inoitwa kumusha. Vana mbuya vedu vachirima, vana sekuru vedu nedzimwe hama dzedu dziriko kwatika dzinenge dzichirima dziri kumusha inonzi communal what? Communal farming. Ndezvipi zvaunofana kuziva about communal farming? Unofana kuziva kuti itori another type of subsistence what? Farming. Because those people they just grow crops kuti vafeed my families and after that if they also get a surplus. What is a surplus? When I'm talking about a surplus, I say, you need to order 1 ton. Right. But, do you know what I'm doing? 1 ton here, do 1.5 ton. You have an extra. Do you know the cheap? Surplus. So, on a surplus, like on a surplus, they sell that surplus. Don't marry up, but I have an office. Don't marry up, take our sugar. Don't marry up, take our salt. Ndio Maria vakutenga zvimwe zvavasingakwanisi kuita sei kurima. Tutese. Saka how can you say totally vanoita subsistence farming they don't sell? No. Their main focus is not selling. But in the case of surplus, they sell. This one? But why they are doing this agriculture? Vari kungoitira kuti vafeed my families and but in the case yekuti vawana surplus vanototengesa because no mari vanotengawo airtime because chibage chiga is airtime aufone nekuda kwechibage but vazotengesawo here and there uwasawo kudi fona. But my question on this one inonzi communal farming or any type of farming inanonzi my problems faced by communal farmers. Saka kana takutaura about my problem faced by communal farmers. Takutaura tiri kuti vanhu vari kurima, vari kuita subsistence farming, vane matambudziko avanosangana nawo. Ndeapi my problems iwayo? Do I have problem? Yeah. And then?
Lack of farming equipment.
Yes, lack of equipment. Lack of farming what? Equipment. And they also want to get surplus so that they can sell and get what? Money, foreign currency. But because they don't have farming what? Equipment. It's now difficult for them to do farming and get surplus. They are only getting the products that are enough to feed their what? Their families. That's why I chose to marry. Why? Because they are failing to get what? Surplus. So a lack of farming equipment is one of the problems that any farmer is facing, especially in Zimbabwe. Another problem, lack of capital. Lack of capital. Those who are doing accounts, capital referring to money used to start a business, which means be it subsistence farming, be it commercial, it is business. Agriculture is a business. You can't tell me that you don't have a business. You always talk about you are a businessman or a businesswoman. Alright, so lack of capital. Capital, you know about such. Capital, you know about such. I think my equipment. I think I mean my inputs. This one. I can't say my fertilizer. I can't say chi. Imagine? My seeds and it. Right. Another problem that they are facing, droughts. Mvura yakamufunga kunhasa sukuya takawanda gorera tuyi takawanda yakutoreka zvayo kudai handiti. Saka another problem that they are facing, which is actually causing low agricultural production in Zimbabwe, especially to communal farmers, is drought, or you can call this one unreliable rainfall patterns. You can't actually read or predict this sector, this sector. You can't predict because the rainfall is unreliable. You can't actually predict. About my weather forecast. We're talking about prediction of future weather hazards. You can't actually predict. You see, because some of the things that you are using, they are messing up. Yeah, we can call that, let us say, natural what? Disasters. Then you give examples. So another problem that they are facing is natural disasters. For example, we can mention example, it also includes drought. Right? Those are natural what? Disasters. These are just things that occurs naturally. So natural disasters can actually mention cyclones, because when cyclones occur, they destroy the crops of the farmers. Another problem?
Destruction of crops due to problem.
Yeah, animals. How do you explain that? Due to my baboon. How do you do that? We can, alright, today some place that today we eat human wildlife conflict. Yes. I was in the place. Human wildlife conflict. Another problem?
Use of outdated machines.
Outdated machines, yes. Use of outdated machines. My machines are udara. Vane zvimasidzi zvinoplanda. Zvokunokochisa chibage chese chobva chatoplanda chega iwe uri kumba hakuita zvokuita. Isusu mai anochifana kurorivu. Hazvinyatso kuti farming ive efficient. What else? My problem anosangana vari minde api. Mupanga musukudiwe. Pest and diseases. I remember another year. Another year, I can't remember the year. But tikumbusha kuti chirima. Kwakangouya kumasvingo. Kwakauya tumakonye. Twaingodya chibani. Changosvika twaidya. Hakuna kakuwa that year. Saka another problem. And hakuna mishonga yatingasingawanike chokasprayer zvaiuyi. Theft, kubiwa. Makazopa. Warima chibage chako zvakanaka, vanouya vatora. Another problem, Andy? Lack of irrigation equipment. For what is it? Irrigation. I know that irrigation, it means what? The artificial application of water. Do you know the irrigation? No, I'm not about irrigation. Instead, they would teach you a brand artificial application of water.
A lack of mining skills.
Not mining? You're not talking about mining? Yeah, inonzi lack of knowledge. Idambudziko ravakatiudza yesu kuti kusaka ndambudziko kuti hatizivi. Tiri kuona kuziva kuti chirwere chakadai chotriitwa sei. Hatitika chibage chakadai chodai mvura yakaita sei. Handimoza pane soil sampling and soil testing, right? We are going to test kuti this type of a soil rinoda kurima wheat, rinoda kurima maize, rinoda kurima groundnuts, rinoda kurima whatever. And it avana that knowledge, inonzi lack of knowledge. Listen. How many points do we have now? 9. Done. Right. After waziya maproblem akusangana nevarimi, unofana kuziyawo masolutions. Right. Takuudzwa kuti aya ndo matambudziko akusangana nemafarmers. What do you think should be done? So that if vakazokubvunza kuti what do you think should be done to reduce these problems? But what do you think should be done to improve agriculture in Zimbabwe? What do you think should be done to improve agriculture in what? In Zimbabwe. Right? Cloud seeding is solving which problem? Be specific. Drought. Right? So in the case of drought, cloud what? Cloud seeding. Right? What else? So think about the problem and then find a way to solve that problem. So on the issue of drought, the problem, drought. Right? Drought solve one and zero. Number one, to cloud seeding, drought resistant crops. And growing drought resistant crops. Zvinobatsira pa problem ye drought. This one. Another solution for this problem, drought. Saka ma drought resistant crops chikubvira ma crops asingade mvura yakawanda or ma crops anokwanisa kurarama for a long time asina kuwana mvura. Another problem, unogona kuti use of irrigation schemes. Use of irrigation what? Use of irrigation schemes. Inobatsira pa problem ye drought. Tutezera? Right. And the problem. Do you want to try to and
Problem capital seeking help
from philanthropists. Yeah, I'm a philanthropist. Yeah. But regarding getting loans from financial institutions like Agribank. This and loan loan now. They must get loans from financial institutions like Agribank. Why not refer to Agribank? Because it's not bank agriculture. All right now. Right? Another fencing. Theft and vanhu vari kuba fenza kana ukafenza kuti tongoti panofensi nyarama wazagona kukwira pafensi paya vonotora kuti chibage chako wotiza saka unogona kugiriza police patrol. Saka fencing and police patrol zviri kubatsira problem ye theft. And any problem inofana kuine solution. Any problem that they are going to mention inofana kuine in a solution. What else? Educational campaign panyaya lack of knowledge. Vana ngavadzidziswa. Educational campaign. What else?
Practicing biological culture.
Right, yeah. Use of chemicals. We're going to go to use of chemicals for pests and diseases. Use of chemicals for pests and diseases. What else? Zvimaito. Crop rotation, yes. Crop rotation inobatsira futi pa pests and diseases. Practice crop rotation. What else? Avoid no crop rotation. Come with crop rotation, what do avoid?
Government should provide inputs to the communal farmers.
Seeking government help. Seeking government help. Kana kuti unogona kuti ask for donations. That's just from my government or my philanthropist or whatever. We don't know. Do we have another solution? My solutions are found in my sugar manager. There are no problem. As you would. Let's go. Use of weather forecast. Zvinobatsira kuti vanoziva ma types of crops avanofana kuita sei kurima. Ndizvo use of weather forecast, so that they will know the types of crops to grow. Next, tarisa problem. What is the solution? Pa natural disasters. Awareness happens. But what was we have before disaster? Then you imagine. Right, I think it was. Those was all follows, and also my questions are going to about that area. One going to about what are the challenges faced in trying to solve? What are the challenges faced in trying to solve? Right, these are solutions. Solutions. But we are not on the way trying to actually provide these solutions. We are going to face many challenges. The happy challenge now in trying to implement or put in place these measures. Remoteness of the area, maybe we don't have access to hakuna road, tunamadzisa twana mdumeni. Ani unofamba 72 kilometers. Kuti ndinodzisa munhu for free. Azvude kure. Right, another problem language barrier. Unodzisa mundevere arikudzaura chindevere iwa uchizive. Ndizvo. Saka nyaya yemutauro, communication problem, ndio kunzi language barrier. What else?
Ignorance from other
Ignorance among local. Kuwecha what right? Tinechirongwa chedu seeds. Munhu anoti ina ndisi wechakati. Saka ndudziro zvokuita nechakati. You get it? Saka ignorance among local, it becomes another problem.
Insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds. Tinoda kuti ngatipe mafama equipment atikushandisa, fertilizer, seeds. But mune mari yacho you don't have. Saka it's another problem. Right. Then also chimwe chinhu chaunofana kuziva about general characteristics of subsistence farming. Chero vakazoti shifting vanozva kuti tiri kumova from one place to another. Chero vakazoti unozva kuti tiri pamwe chete but tichichinja mafields. Handifika. Saka tinoona general characteristics of subsistence farming. Ndezvipi in general? This is subsistence farming. In general, they use simple tools. They use what? Simple tools. Number one. Such as walls and what? And axes. Number two, general characteristics. This is what? Subsistence farming. In general, zvinofana kuitwa andamboisi
And the only focus is on own consumption.
Hey, agriculture is done for family consumption. Vari kutorima zvekungoti vafidhe mhuri dzavo chete. Agriculture is done for what? For family consumption. What else?
They provide the crops of poor kinds.
Yeah, they produce poor quality of what? Of crops. Ndezvekungodya ndezvedu. Saka ungorowo zvezvo ingoti zvirikotanga. What else?
Farming is done on a small piece of land.
Farming is done on a small piece of land, yes. And there's a family. Konorimire mazitani nematani. Ndirikurima on a small piece of land. Ndiri kuita because ndingangorima zvondidye nechi. What else?